Ladies and gentlemen, we will welcome you here today to the 19th round of the XRL X2 Championship here at Abu Dhabi. Everything's getting more and more intense here in the X2 Championship fight. I'm your host for today's race, Insane Leader 13. I'm being joined today by XRL Fiend, who no longer goes by the name XRL Fiend because this guy wants to play a game. Now he's known by XRL Jigsaw. Go ahead. Welcome you to the party, obviously. What can we expect from today's race?
Well, there's a lot of things we can expect. We can expect a lot of incidents. Hopefully not, but you never know. We can expect a lot of DRS trains and a lot of overtaking in this game.
Yeah, a lot of artificial overtaking at that.
Yeah, loads of overtakes. Yeah, should be good.
All right, so when it comes down to it, before we get into the broadcast itself, I do want to go ahead and talk about the championship fights as they are.
Of course.
Things continue to get really interesting when it comes to championship battles within XRL. Honestly, you guys should start marketing this league based off of that. So anyways, looking first at the Manufacturers Championship. At the bottom is the Alpine team. They have 67 points. The Scuderia AlphaTauri Honda team is 9th with 116. Alfa Romeo has 125. 7th is Red Bull with 149. 6th is Aston Martin with 179. 5th is Williams with 191. 4th is Scuderia Ferrari with 204. They're just 7 out from McLaren, who is 3rd with 211. At the front, it's Mercedes with 276. And Haas is dominating with 329 points. So that fight's not really all that close. When it comes to the Drivers' Championship, though, things are way different. Franz W31 still has yet to show up to a race in the last few weeks and has not earned points yet. Fable 521 has only earned 1 point this season. Mr. Shmi is 17th with only 16. RB Lama has 34 points. He is 15th. XRL Ozda has 37 points and 14th. Then in 15th is Lone Retreat. He has 39 points. 13th is Mr. Neon with 43. 12th is XRLO with 49 points. 11th is Fizzy 1258 with 53. He is just 1 out from XRL Yun, who is 10th with 54 points. He is only 1 out from James Young in 9th with 55 points. XRL Torpedo is 8th with 61 points. XRL Zola is 7th with 66 points. Then come the Ferraris. XRL Pelli is 6th with 95 points. XRL Edgar has finally broken the triple-digit point tally. He has 109 points. 4th is Smoothie 25 with 142 points. He's on the very edge of championship contention. And then you come to your main 3 championship fighters. XRL Dino is 3rd with 157 points. He could have had a great run, but, it all kind of fell to the wayside last week at Australia. 2nd is XRL Waldo, who was leading the championship until he got crashed out early on last week at Australia. And leading is now XRL Matrix, who now leads with 165 points, just 2 over Waldo. This means that Matrix, for the first time possibly ever in XRL history, is leading the points in 2 different XRL divisions, both the Realistic League and X2. So definitely a very interesting scenario we're looking at there. Excuse me. As we're prepared to get underway, we should be going here in almost any minute now, honestly. All right, 20 cars to a full field as drivers. 20 cars to a full field, meaning that we're going to see about 5 drivers, per usual, not advance to the next round. But that leads into the other thing. We've not had a full field of 15 cars in any of the races I've covered today. Now, I did not get to watch X1, but in Dev, in Realistic, and X3, we have not had a full grid of 15 drivers make it out of Q1 into Q2. So it could be just another event where survival is key into making it into the second round of qualifying here.
Now, I wonder if X2 will be the first race this weekend to have all 15 drivers go through to Q2 then.
Yeah, It would be nice to see that actually happen, I'm going to be 100% honest. We've had a lot of incidents in the last few races for XRL. I'm going to be 100% honest. The drivers don't deserve it. I'm going to be honest. This game still needs a lot of work. And there are a lot of issues that have really hampered and harmed a lot of drivers this entire season across all the divisions. And I really feel bad for a lot of the guys who go out there, put in hours and hours and hours of time and practice, and they get nothing out of it because of a game being stupid.
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway through the game cycle now, so in about 6 months, the new F1 game will be coming out. So hopefully a lot of it's fixed for next time. Otherwise, we're going to have more of the same, aren't we? For another 12 months or so.
I dread to imagine that.
Yeah. It's $A, so they like the money more than the game.
Yeah, I mean, once somebody has already given you $60, $70 for the game, fucking why keep putting effort into it? That's the way they look at it now.
Yeah, they got the money. That's all they are. That's all they want.
Anyway. All right. One thing I will be looking forward to, though, which will be an improvement in the next game, regardless of what happens, we will no longer have to go to this layout here at Yas Marina. They will finally take out the annoying chicanes at the start of the first back straight, and at the end of the second back straightaway. That will mean so much to the improvement of on-track action.
Oh, definitely. We have Fizzy and Remixo retiring straight away. I'm assuming that might be a ban of some kind, but I'm not sure.
It might be a qualifying ban more than likely, so that means it will make it only 3 drivers will not advance, assuming they have laps. First driver to get onto track by a large margin is going to be this man here, XRL Ozda. Ozda, one of the drivers who have been significantly negatively affected by the numerous glitches and issues that this game has had. Wheel glitches, disconnects, all that kind of stuff. He took a long break from the game to kind of deal and cope. He's come back, and has come back with strength, winning a realistic league race right on his return pretty much, and he started coming back and earning plenty of points again for the Mercedes team in X2. And that's great news for them in the Manufacturers Championship, because if he can keep that up, it might be able to drag Mercedes into the end of the Manufacturers title fight against Haas, and will at least help them lock up second. The big thing is, in the Haas team, you have 2 very strong drivers, Matrix and Waldo.
We do, yes. Matrix and Waldo, first and second in the championship. Asda, since coming back to X2, has found a lot of pace. He's been up there. Just needs to keep it clean, and I'm sure that he'll be fighting for wins as well today.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. That's something else I want to talk about here. Time penalties still an issue here, but I think time penalties at Yas Marina are an issue here in a different way than what we are normally used to in XRL. Typically in XRL races, even if you have a late race yellow, the field gets nice and spread out later on. We've really not seen a lot of spreading out of the field at the end of the race. Late race yellows have kept the field bunched up, where a mere 3-second penalty can cost you 2-3 spots. I think the big thing to get a good result, or even fight for the win maybe today, is just keeping the number of time penalties you get today at a solid, fat goose egg. One 3-second time penalty could drop you a good 2-3 spots, simply because the track is really not that great. It's so easy to total the car, and when the car is totaled and set in the middle of the racing line, you have to throw a full course yellow.
Yes, and we've seen that all weekend, haven't we, with safety cars, late safety cars, meaning that the drivers stay bunched up, which means any time penalties, and you're kind of screwed in a way.
Another thing that's kind of been a situation, and was more noticeable in the realistic league yesterday, because those are realistic performance cars. Normally, under normal circumstances, in a race like this, on a track like this, you'd want to go for a car that has, relatively good grip in the corners. You're not hyper-focused on straightaway speed. That's really not been the case here this week. Anybody who has any slight advantage in the straightaways are in a great position. There are so many yellow flags, and the field kind of gets shuffled and reshuffled so many times that, frankly, just being fast in a straightaway means that it doesn't matter really where you restart. As long as you don't get wing damage or anything, you can pull alongside and outbrake someone else into a braking zone, and that's all that's mattered. And there's been a Ferrari that's had an issue. That's Edgar, who's had a spin coming out of turn 4.
Turn 3, turn 4. Yeah, the two corners that have caused so much trouble this weekend, turn 3, turn 4 as well. Edgar the first of, hopefully not, but first of maybe a few today. Asda then, 37.5 on medium tyres.
He has elected to set his time on the medium tire compounds. If that time is fast enough to get him into Q2, that will be a good thing, because that means he'll have either another set of softs he can use in the next rounds of qualifying, or potentially another set of softs he can use in the race itself. So.
Yeah, if he can get through to Q2, then he's looking okay for the soft tyres.
XRL Snake now goes to the top of the time sheets with 137.299, and now we're going to start seeing some other drives come by. Low, 136.837. Then we're going to have an Alpine. No, actually, it looks like that Alpine may have just aborted and come into the pits instead.
Next to cross the line looks like it's going to be Jebus John. Dave is on an outlap.
Coming to line, the AlphaTauri. I won't lie, I didn't really care much for the AlphaTauri cars in 36.535, nice.
Not bad.
I didn't care much for the looks of the AlphaTauri cars, but I've really come to like that black and white paint scheme.
We have Dave, who has spun at turn 3, turn 4. Just waiting. Doesn't look like he's got damage, so just waiting for a gap, and then he can get moving again. There we go. Asda coming round again. Can he improve?
Yes, he does. He goes up to a 37.230, so that pushes him above Snake's time. So he's still looking competitive on the medium tires. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of ERS left, but he might try to go for another fly lap. One advantage on qualifying on mediums is that you can crank out a bunch of laps and not really have to worry about tires falling off.
Yeah, you can do a couple of laps, can't you, before they wear too much. Okay.
I think he's on a cooldown lap now, though, because he's not laying on the ERS on the straight, so he's probably going to come in. Fuel may be the situation there. Fine Waldo is finally coming out of pit lane, looking to put the events of Australia behind him and go hard for the championship fight against his teammate, Matrix, and his other rival, Mr. Neon. Oh, wait, is it Mr. Neon? No, who's third in the points?
Dino.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Dino.
Wait, is Dino not racing today?
Doesn't look like it, no. J-Leb is in his place. Oh, yeah. Dino has left the league, I think. Not happy with something that happened, so yeah, Dino left the league.
Well, in that case, it just becomes a battle between teammates for the championship fight then. So it will be a classic version of Rosberg versus Hamilton, only now it's two drivers in the Haas cars. It'll be very interesting to see how that develops going forward. Edgar has put that spin behind him real quickly and immediately set down a time, 136.150. It looks like he may be on another lap, even though that car's fuel light is flashing with a vengeance right now.
Yeah, just looking at these standings, it's Matrix and Waldo who are first and second, both in the Haas, with a 165 and 163 points respectively. And then next full-time driver that is challenging is Smooth, who's 20 points behind Waldo.
Smooth is still in the pits right now. Well, Fine Waldo's coming through the last two corners now, so we'll do what we always do. Go silent in the go silent in the booth and spin a lap on board with Waldo as he very nearly spins coming out of the final corner. We're going to go silent and right on board with Waldo for a full lap here around Abu Dhabi.
Lucky not to invalidate there. And he's backed off.
Yeah, he's backed off. I think that little twist he had was enough to make him think, maybe reconsider. Now, of note, Waldo has that set of medium tires on, so he might be trying to do the same strategy that Asda is and try to have an extra set of softs. Alpine, you were... I'm sorry, I called you Alpine. That's the car you drive in X3, not your name. I'm sorry. Fiend, or Jigsaw, whichever you want me to call you. You were in the X3 race, obviously. The soft tires Obviously, for anyone who watched it, you were there. You were in that race. Tell us what the difference is in pace between the soft and medium tires over a race stint.
Honestly, not much different. In qualifying, not much difference at all. In the race, there's a slight difference, but not really too much, to be honest. I mean, you could get away with starting on mediums and still keep on pace with other soft runners. So yeah, there's not too much difference in it, maybe a couple of tenths.
And that's interesting because almost everyone else I've talked to have said just the opposite, that the difference is massive and they want to do everything they can to have an extra set of softs for the race, or at least for Q2, and that's why we've seen so many people try to do it.
I understand why you'd want to start on softs, definitely, because there is a few tenths difference, but in qualifying, I found that there wasn't much difference at all.
All right, Find Waldo's coming to the line now. He'll try and be the 12th driver to set a lap time here. That twitch at the start's not going to help his time much. 1:47.960. The good news is, being like we said earlier, being on medium tires, you can go out and punch out 2, 3, 4 laps without issue as long as the fuel's still in the car.
Yeah, he'll do another lap, won't he? That means next to cross the line will be J-Lab, won't it?
Yes, it does look like it will be Levin who will be the next one across the line. And we're also going to go ahead, after the Mercedes crosses the line, we're going to go ahead and spin a lap on board with Torpedo here, as Jalevin sets a 1:37.276. All right, so a full lap on board with XRL Torpedo here at Yas Marina. In the twilight hours, let's see what he can do in that number 67 AlphaTauri Honda.
So Torpedo setting a 1:36.6, 0.6, putting him into P6. So all of the sixes for Torpedo today in Q1.
Didn't last for very long though, because Pelly went by the line right afterwards with a 1:36.612 of his own. So he takes 6 from Torpedo. As it stands right now, Llama, in the middle of a lap, although it's an invalidated lap, he is on the outside looking in, as is Smoothie and Mr. Neon. Dave Ewart is trying to make something happen. Find Waldo aborted his attempt on the medium tires, so he does not feel comfortable with trying to set a lap on the mediums. He has come off circuit, went into the pits, now he's back onto the track with set of soft tires on. He has a 47 right now, so he obviously can have a lot of improvement. Dave Ewart is in the pit lane, and his time, 1:59.110, not a competitive one whatsoever. Oh, okay, now Neon's car shows up on track. But Neon starting his lap now. I'm sorry, Neon is starting his out lap now. He's trying to get a time in. Right now, Dave Ewart is on the bubble with a 59.110. I guarantee you that time will fall in these last 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, guaranteed. Neon has just started his lap and done a purple sector 1. So a personal best for him, I believe.
It's also his personal worst, considering that's his first run to that sector
Yeah.
on a lap.
Yeah, the purple sectors
Oh,
get
and Llama's
confusing.
around in sector
Oh,
1.
no. Llama. And then once again, it's that turn, that corner that gets everyone. I think everyone's spun there at least once this week.
The good news for Llama is that the car, when it spun, he didn't try and fight the car to get grip back into it and spear into the outside wall. He just went off circuit. As long as the tires aren't in a bad condition, as long as the fuel's not in a bad condition, he will be able to get another lap in.
Yes. He'll definitely be able to get another lap in, judging by his steering wheel that says 4.6 laps.
XRL Low now at the top of the timesheets in the Alfa Romeo with a 136.054. So a pretty big spread looking from 1st to 13th right now, a spread of about 3 seconds. All right, here comes Mr. Neon into the last corner now. And across the line, 136.737, and now Smoothie comes across the line in the McLaren.
Goes
And
into
he will set 136.491.
Nice. So we're looking like mid to low 36s. Well,
It looks
anywhere
like if you're in the 36s, you should be safe to make it into the next round. Collie Boy on the bubble right now, and he's already responded by going out on circuit. He has a 139.067. He's trying to improve on. Dave Ewart finally is there in 18th. Llama's lap, 151.520. But he can obviously improve if he just doesn't spin there.
You just don't spin, you're alright.
Oh, he spun! And he goes right into another Williams! A Williams was already crashed there, and as that Williams started pulling away, Llama and the Alpine spun and went right into the back of that car.
So Llama
That was Dave Ewart. That was Dave Ewart who had the crash there just before the car apparently snapped out and then regained control and went to the outside wall. Dave was able to continue, but before he could get moving on, Llama came spearing in there and ran into the back of that car. The fact that Llama's car is not, the fact that Dave Ewart's car isn't totally out of this race is a miracle.
Yeah, but he's got no front wing, so he's out of qualifying anyway. He's got no front wing, so he probably won't be able to improve on his lap much at all.
So now, at this point, XRL Flavor is the driver on the bubble with the 138.950. Waldo is on the outside looking in. He invalidated his prior lap, so he still does not have a proper flying lap recorded. So it's between Flavor and Waldo, one of the slowest qualifying drivers next to you, versus one of your championship contenders. This could get interesting.
It could indeed. Waldo in 16th needs to improve, doesn't he? Otherwise he's out of qualifying.
Flavor is in the middle of an outlap right now. He'll get to the line in time to get one lap in. Honestly, if Flavor could just improve by about 8/10, he would be ahead of Zola, and that would be enough to help guarantee him this position. Because like you said, with Dave Ewart's double accident, basically, there's no chance for him to get back out there and get another lap in.
Yeah, all Flavor needs to do is go quicker than Zola and he'll be through. Zola on a lap as we speak, though, getting a toe off his teammate. And Davis going for another lap anyway, just to see if he can improve. Oh no, that's Flavor, sorry. My apologies. Dave goes into the pits. But Waldo goes
Waldo to the top. 35.821, so now Zola is on the bubble, 37.975, but he's invalidated this lap.
It's all down to Flavor then.
The clock is up. Yeah, can Flavor get 8/10 in the lap? He's already up by over 3/10. All right, coming into the party right now is RB Llama. Llama, go ahead and include your audio. We're in the middle of watching the lap right now, but when the moment that's over, we do want to talk to you about what happened at the end of Q1 there for you. As we watch Flavor coming out of that that chicane, splitting the two back straightaways. He needs to be up by about 8/10 in order to beat Zola.
Let's see what he can do.
His teammate Dave Ewart has no chance really of making it into the next round.
Only up by 4.5 after sector 2, so Needs to gain loads of time here in Sector 3.
There's no traffic around him. He might be able to squeeze this out, but it'll be close.
It will be close.
All right, now he's coming down to the last 2 corners.
It's pretty smooth. Final corner.
I think it will just be a little bit too slow, sadly.
Unfortunately. Oh,
no,
wow.
He's in!
No,
he did! He made it! He pulled it out in those last 3 corners. 137.398. Flavor is in, and Zola is out. All right, now, coming into the party is RB Llama. Llama, go ahead, include your audio. Big accident there in qualifying. What happened? 2 big accidents, honestly. What happened?
I lost the rear. I think the tyres were... I think I was on the tyres for too long and just spun into the wall.
Alright, to say at least, it was an absolutely massive hit that you had there. So you're not even going to be starting in the top 15. It looks like you're going to be starting 17th in the race. Do you think you can recover from that and get back into the points-paying positions in the race?
Hopefully. But we'll have to see.
Alright. Well, I do want to say thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us about it. Nasty impact. Hopefully things turn around for the better for you in the race.
Thank you.
Alright. So that brings us to the end of Q1. And of note, Ozda is the only driver of this group who made it in to Q2 on that medium set of tires. So, small victories for him.
Yeah, Waldo tried, but he had to go out on softs. And surprisingly, we are only saying goodbye to 5 drivers in Q1.
Yeah.
So that's
I thought it wouldn't happen, but
yeah.
finally did, yeah.
Yeah, that's so Rem and Fizzy, aka Vertex, who had quali bans, and then Dave Hewitt, RB Llama, and XRL Zola. We are saying goodbye to.
Of note, it's been a while, but we finally see both Red Bulls advancing into Q2 here next to. It's been a little while since that's happened.
Has, hasn't it?
Good job on the Red Bull drivers for that.
Yeah, it's been a little while. But here we are in Q2 anyway. Let's see what they can do.
All right, so this is where it gets interesting. This is where you have to figure out what kind of tire you want to start the race on. We've seen in all the various divisions that you can at least, if you're not bad at the initial drop of the lights, you can get a good start on the medium tires. The counterpoint, though, is that the softs hold pace long enough that soft tires will have a good advantage under that short stint. And you better hope that there's a VSC or full course safety car early on. Otherwise, you will get mogged as the laps pass on medium tires. So it looks like the first driver out on circuit once again is going to be XRL Ozda in the Mercedes. And they have soft tires in that car. Collie Boy is going out on mediums. He is one of 4 drivers right now who have mediums equipped to that car at the moment.
Yeah, his strategy was pretty okay from... We probably knew what he was going to do from when he did Q1 on mediums.
Looks like there's some indecisiveness in the McLaren pit. Smoothie in that pit, they have swapped tires about 4 times since this clock has started between softs and mediums. Can't figure out which one is going to be more ideal to go with.
They're swapping tyres a bit, aren't they?
Well, in the Red Bull camp, Snake, they've gone ahead and thrown on a set of medium tires for him, so that will match his teammate Collie Boy for the moment at least. Now Mr. Neon is throwing on medium tires for him, but right now only 2 cars have medium tires on the track right now. That's XRL Torpedo and Collie Boy, so we may not see some of those come out until we actually get some results and see how the medium tires actually stack up against the softs.
Yeah, we see Snake coming out of the pits now on mediums. Just to try it out. Asda, be careful about not getting in the way of Asda.
It looks like Ozda's going to be by him before it ends up being an issue. It'll be a little close, but he'll be by him already.
Yeah, he's got past easily. Got past easily.
Very smooth exit from 4 for Ozda. Now dives into the hairpin after that retarded chicane. And opens up the rear DRS to fly down the first of the 2 back straightaways here at the circuit. So Ozda positioning himself to be the first driver to set a time in this session, just like he did in the last one.
Yeah, he's well on his way. As long as he doesn't invalidate, he will.
He also committed to running. He also committed to running soft tires extremely early on. So
he did.
Realistically, I don't know if unless Ozda has an absolutely horrid lap, I think there may not even be a need for Ozda to go out again. This might work out wonderfully for him.
Yeah, this might be his only lap in Q2, and then through to Q3 with at least 2 sets of softs.
So interesting things from the Red Bull camp. Collie Boy is in the middle of a lap right now, and Snake is behind him. After Collie Boy crosses the line, he'll be in a position where he can give a draft to Snake going down the straights, and that could help that team out a bit. All right, Ozda coming across the line, 136.488.
36.4. Not a bad lap.
All right, and now we see Collie Boy 137.561 on the medium. Snake is a little bit behind. If Collie Boy lets off a bit in Sector 1 here and catches his teammate, he can give him a draft going down at least one, if not both, of those back straightaways. And it looks like that might be what they're doing in that camp. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, Edgar goes to the top now, 35.622.
Oh, gosh. Cooley needs to slow down a little bit.
Maybe he's trying to give him a draft. Yeah, he's got him a pull, and there's enough gap between the two of them, I think, that he might be able to pull him down the second straightaway as well.
Here we go, second
Teammate
straight.
shenanigans going on. And of note, they both have medium tires, so if they both have the fuel to sacrifice an extra lap, they can go ahead and do this again with Snake doing the same to Collie Boy.
Or not. Oh, they tried it. They tried it.
They might try swapping right now. Snake is still in the middle of a valid lap, so Snake might be able to give Collie Boy a drag on the following lap. If they both have enough fuel, that is. We're watching Snake right now. If this worked out well enough, he should have the fastest time on the mediums thus far. Torpedo second has a 36.411. Out of the final corner for Snake. Not a great time, only a 37.859. That's actually slower than his teammate. So he got the pull down the straights, but for whatever reason, it didn't seem like that car was very well hooked up in the corners.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a turn. He got a bit of a turn, which will have helped him out a little bit, obviously, but...
Gilebin now sets down a time of 137.150. He's trying to put that lap 1 DNF nightmare from X3 behind him now, as he's reserving for X2. Lowe is in the middle of the lap as well, and the Alfa Romeo going down the second of the 2 back straightaways.
58.3, Sector 2.
Matrix now crosses the line so he can start a lap.
Broke just in time there, did
Now into the final 2 corners for the Alfa Romeo. Only Alfa to make it into round 2 of qualifying here.
It's looking okay. 36.1 P4, decent. Decent.
So now focus goes to the likes of Mr. Neon, XRL Pelly, and XRL Matrix. Matrix is at the end of that first straightaway. Pelly will be the first of those 3 to cross the line. Smoothie 25 and Jabez John both in the middle of outlaps right now. Fine Waldo and Flavor still in pit lane.
So currently we have 3 medium runners in the top 8. Well, only 8 drivers have written, of course. Have done a lap, of course. Do you think that they're going to be safe in where they are now, or do you think they'll have to come back
I
out?
think Torpedo might be safe, but I think for the likes of Collie Boy and Snake, they have no choice. They're going to have to come back out on softs or do something. Pelly just knocked down one of the braking boards going into the second to last corner. That may have some negative effects for other drivers going into that corner.
And he goes into P5 on mediums.
Yeah,
Neon in 7th.
Pelly might be good. Torpedo might be good. Neon's going to be really iffy. But I think right now, if you're not at least in a 136.5 or better, I don't think there's any way you're going to make it into Q3 at that time. Matrix to the top, 135.594 right now.
Yeah, I think anyone in a low 36 is going to be safe, I think, for Q2.
Jabus Non, 58.711 at the end of Sector 2. He is also trying to do this on medium tires. We've also burned through a lot of time real quickly here in this session. It doesn't feel like it, but we're already down to the last 6.5 minutes of the session. McLaren, smoothly 25, accident coming out of 4. Luckily for him, the front suspension is still together, but the front wing's totally ripped off, and he's going to have to come back in the pit lane and try again, and there's not going to be a lot of time for him to do so. All right, Jabus Don, out of the final corner, he will set a time 136.988. So right now, 4 of the top 6 fastest times have been set on medium tires, but Jalebin has softs, and he's going to be coming out onto the track shortly. Collie Boy is out on softs. XRL Snake has just come out of his pit box. He has softs on. Fine Waldo's on softs. Smoothie, although he's ripped off that front wing, he'll probably come back out on softs, and Flavor has not yet made an attempt out either. Again, maybe Pelly, maybe Torpedo, but I don't think Neon or Jabus Don will be able to make it.
It's going to be close for them. Definitely going to be close.
Oh, is that a Ferrari?
That
yeah,
is
I think
a
that's
Pelly
who's had an incident.
I think he's just letting cars through, to be honest.
No, he's out of fuel. Look at the fuel light.
Oh, yeah, the fuel light's... Oh, yeah, he's run out of fuel. How long is left in Q2, I wonder?
Well, the good news for him is he will be able to make it into the pit box at least.
He's in the pits. He's got 5 minutes.
Yeah, if he wanted to, he'd go again. But do you want to risk that?
I don't know.
It's up in the air.
I mean, do you want to... It's a question of whether you want to risk going out the top 10 and starting on these slower medium tyres. Or do you want to guarantee... But if you can get
a stint... The thing is, if you can get the stint of medium tires out of the way right at the start of the race, and if there are enough yellow flags, you could theoretically one stop go medium and then soft to the end.
Yeah, theoretically you could, depending on safety cars.
Collie Boy's invalidated his lap.
And also going on softs at the end, you're going to be quicker, aren't you, than a lot of other people, so...
Yeah.
That's also the thinking there. Yeah, Waldo's on a lap, isn't he?
He's trying to be the 13th driver to set a time in this session. He attempted earlier on the mediums, but just could not get to work. Well, he attempted in Q1 on the mediums. He seems to be committed to the softs here, but... All right, last 2 corners for Waldo.
Ooh, nearly invalidated, didn't he? But it's still valid.
Not a great run.
It's
a 36.226, so he should be good, but it's not a great run. So the focus goes to Snake and Collie Boy, although Collie Boy's in the middle of an invalid lap. Snake is on a lap right now, and Jalebin has just crossed the line to get a lap in. He just crossed with a 37.150 when he set a lap earlier. Now he's going to try and go faster. Jabus Nom, 136.988. He is on the bubble right now. Jalebin's already up in Sector 1 alone.
Slow Tari of Torpedo. Not sure why he's slow, maybe just letting people pass.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to get some gaps opened up.
And XRL Snake is just under a second up on his time.
If he can make that work, he'd be able to get a 136.8. That would be good enough to get him 9th at the moment if he maintains that advantage. Smoothie 25 and XRL Flavor are still in the pits, although Smoothie is finally coming out onto the circuit. Nothing from Flavor yet.
Surprised. Surprised that Flavor hasn't come out of the pit yet, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time left to do so. All right, coming across the line is Snake. There
ninth.
they are, up into ninth, 36.512. So John is out. Neon is now the driver on the bubble. John is already seen and responded by getting out onto the circuit with Sauce, so he was already prepared for this.
A little bit wide from Jalebend.
Jalebend up a bit more than half a second at the end of Sector 2, so that sort of improvement would get him up into about ninth, up until about 10th.
Here he goes then across the line. What can he do? He can get 10th. Yeah.
10th. So Neon is out now. Neon's already responded. He's already out on circuit. Smoothie and Flavor have finally both come out on track. So Flavor's only going to do one lap, and that's it, apparently.
Yeah, Cooley's just gone up to 11th from 13th. But 12th to 15th are all out laps.
And 11th is in the middle of a lap, as is 11 and 10th. Although 11 might be on a cooldown because there's not a whole lot of fuel in that car. No, I think he's going for it again. He's going to try and push.
Yeah, he's got enough fuel
Snake
to do
is
another
also,
lap.
Snake is also on a lap. So the big thing is going to be for Torpedo and Pelly. Do they have what it takes? Pelly has gone back out on soft tires, so Pelly does not feel comfortable. He's gone out with softs. Torpedo is also out on softs as well, so we might see nobody in the next round on medium tires. Smoothie in the middle of his lap now.
He's just over a 10th up. Be careful not
Here
to
comes
blow it.
Snake to the line. And he'll have time to go for another run. Snake's aborting. Snake has aborted.
Decided that it's time to pit, and that's the end of qualifying. That's Pelly
Oh,
on
and
an out.
Jalebin has done the same thing. Jalebin has pulled over on the circuit that other drivers go, so Jalebin is not going to try and go faster. Collie Boy in the middle of the lap. Can he squeeze back into the top 10?
Cooley Boy.
He's improved, but only by 13 thousandths. That's not enough to get him ahead of Jalebin. Oh, and he runs off circuit in turn 1. I think that's it. I don't think he's going to be able to keep it legal. Yeah, it's over for him.
And Jebus John goes up to 3rd.
Ooh, 35.8. And that really upset the balance for everything. Snake is now on the bubble. Pelly and Torpedo are in for now, but they both already have soft tires on. So that, it seems like to me, everyone in the top 10 is going to be starting on softs because just the pace is that much of a difference. Time's up in the session.
So Smooth, who hasn't set a lap, goes into 5th. Cooley.
It's going to be Flavor who comes across the line next.
Yes, it is. Yeah, let's have a watch him. Did his personal best time in Q1 for the whole weekend.
All right, out of the final corner for Flavor, it's not going to be a great time. 37.9, by far the slowest. But he had absolutely fantastic race pace in all of the events that he's partaken in this week, and I anticipate we'll see that reflected in the race itself.
Pelly's just
Pelly to the top, 35.4. Mr. Neon slides out of the final corner and puts down 36.034. So now we look at Collie Boy. He's invalidated, and Torpedo is in the middle of a lap. He's up by 169,000 at the end of Sector 2. Can he squeeze, find Waldo out of the top 10?
Has to find 2 tenths. Can he do it? Oh, he can find just under a 10, but it's not enough. It's not enough for Torpedo.
So both championship contenders will advance into the final round of qualifying.
Only just.
Yeah, only just for Waldo.
But they've done it. That's the main thing. And now we all wait for Cooley Boy to get round the 3rd sector.
and that should bring us to an end of the session, but 2 Ferraris in the top 3 at the end of Q2, and the top 3 cars in time are all powered by Ferrari engines. So although Ferrari is down on power compared to everyone else here, I think they do have an advantage because they have a better application of torque on when you initially put the throttle down. They seem to have a lot more control of their cars coming through the corners on exit than most of the other teams here do.
Yeah, we saw that in realistic last night, didn't we? I think that the Ferraris were quite powerful around this track.
But as we said, nobody in the top 10 will be starting the race on medium tires. The spread in time from 1st to 10th, 0.826 seconds.
Quite a lot in here.
I mean, it's a lot less than what we saw in X3, but yeah, we're normally used to it being a little bit closer, about 3/4 or less. Waldo got him by the skin of his teeth.
Lucky to get through, just over a 10th between him and 11th place Torpedo, who we are saying goodbye to. Also, XRL Snake in 12th, Jay Lebend in 13th, Cooley Boy 14th, and Flavor 15th. Fastest was Pelly with a 35.4.
Also, with both Ferraris in, if they choose, they might try to go for a little bit of drafting shenanigans down the straights. But every single team we've seen try to do that this week, they've just not been able to make that thing work out. The time that they're gaining in the straights, they seem to be losing on other parts of the track. So I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm just saying it's not worked out thus far.
Oh, is Asda first out again?
Yep, Asda continues to think that being the first driver on track is the best advantage, and it's worked well for him. He easily made it into Q2 on medium tires. He made it into Q3 without too much of an issue either. He's already out there on circuit in the Mercedes, although he is being joined very shortly afterwards. Lowe is already on the track, and it looks like one of the Haas's are coming as well. There's also Franz W31 in the Alpine. We've not really said a lot about him today, but he's been silently strong in qualifying, and there's also a Ferrari coming out on track as well.
Yeah, France has done quite well. Has done well to get to Q3, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we haven't talked much about him, but he's just been quietly putting laps in and getting there.
Asda, one of the drivers who have advanced out of X3 into X2 this season, missed a bunch of races just due to he didn't really want to even compete, considering how poorly the game and its glitches were negatively affecting him. But he's finally coming back, and although he still has a little bit of trouble finishing some of the races, the runs he has been finishing, or even the ones he's just run laps in general, he's been putting on some fantastic drives. I think that if Azza just commits to it, he can be a perennial X2 title fight next season.
Yeah, I reckon. I think next season, you know, Asda could be up there. I mean, we've seen it the last few races. If he keeps it clean and he doesn't, you know, get involved in any incidents much, then he could be well up there next season in X2.
All right, so everyone is on track right now, with the exception of Feinwaldo and Jabez John. Those two have not yet come out on track. Matrix actually timed everything well. It looks like he's going to be a second person to try and get a lap in first if Asda makes a mistake. So, yeah, this is going to go well as your championship contenders. A very interesting scenario, though, because for most of the season, Feinwaldo has been the more outstanding driver of the two in X2. And then over, like, the last 3 weeks, that's changed. And out of nowhere, Matrix, all of a sudden, has started becoming the outstanding driver in the Haas team. Yeah,
after Matrix moved up to X1. Moved up from X3 to X2. He's certainly shown why he deserved to go up in the first place. Proving us admins wrong anyway. But Asda, Sector 2, obviously going to be purple. He's the only driver to have set a time. It was 58.3. Into Sector 3 is Asda then. Got to keep it smooth, and it'll be a decent time.
Speaking to start his Mr. Neon's gonna shortly afterwards, so we'll have a of laps same time here. Relatively nice gap. Maybe a whole lot of wakes people through 3. And coming out of the 5.9 yet today.
A good time. Going into 30. The 36 point can't quite do it. 35.
7.667. Franz
35. Snake.
Pelly to get a good time in as he's coming to the last 2 corners. Oh, and he hits the same border that his teammate did in the prior session.
Pelly. 35.3 for Pelly. What time? I'm with a third. Well, let's go 6/10 quicker with a from Pelly.
Alright, Smoothie 5, just to let you know that McLaren is not powered by E25 ethanol. But Smoothie 25, he's now on the rundown, trying to be the 7th driver to set a lap time in the session. Can he get into the 35s?
Let's see. Get into the 36s, the 36.9. Can Neon get into the 35s? He can't either. He goes 36.2. And Waldo comes out of the pits on an outlap. It's very wide on his pit exit there. And yeah. Asda comes back into the pits to refuel and probably go again. So does Matrix. Edgar's going to set a time. Edgar setting another time. 36.3 goes up to 7th, beats out Smooth.
Franz will bring it into the pits, and I imagine we're going to see the same amount of low.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he looks like he's run out of fuel, so yeah. And I'm assuming Pelly's going to do the same then.
Yeah, Pelly's going to do the same as well.
Down,
so it looks like it's only going to be Find Waldo on track trying to get a lap in.
Yeah, he's on an outlap at the minute, isn't he? So he's going to be starting very, very soon.
Just ahead of Find Waldo on track to Smoothie 25. Smoothie is still hoofing it, but he's low on fuel, which gives him one advantage. That means the car's the last he's going to get. But it also means it's going to be a pain for him to get back around the circuit and get into the pits.
And into the pits he goes. Yeah, he goes into the pits just before Waldo
and Mr. Neon's already way cooled down. He's down by 11 seconds, so he's obviously not going again. So yeah, Find Waldo's going to have the entire track to himself here.
Yeah, let's have a watch then, see what he can do. Took turn 1 nicely. Using as much of the track as he possibly can. Just got to be careful of turn 3, which he is. Turn 4, of course. Nice corner. Oh, I did 2 there. I don't. Relax a bit on. Got to hit his braking point.
We're going to have the session steps in. They could choose. Davis Dawn has not yet come onto track to attempt to set a lap.
This is once the end when it's perhaps quick. That little set key. Yeah,
his teammates come back out on track. Asda taking the run down pit. Waldo's gonna have enough to set. I think this will be
time. Oh, another lap. Third with a fake. Good lap, and that'll be his own income.
Out on track, trying to get laps better what they have.
It's coming out until about 2.5. That's kind of the latest. So
Edgar's coming out, Smoothie's coming out, and John finally coming out of pit lane.
Nice. Nice.
No movement from Pelly or Franz, though, who have the 2 fastest times at the moment. Here comes Matrix to the line.
It's going to start a lap. Up by 400 after sector 1.
to 195 miles an hour. Oh, I'm sorry, 96. So they've definitely hit downforce on that car.
The straights, having the straight line front. 4/10 up though.
Waldo retires in the pits. He shot at the front row.
He's happy with third. He retired as well. He's done enough. Maybe move by even more to maybe sneak a front row. To find out because a couple of corners. And smooth. And Matrix 5-0. Has invalidated. Which means next across the valid lap will be low, but he's going slow. Oh,
Nasty look by Smoothie going out of turn 4.
Yeah.
Relegated to what may be 10th place starting position.
Going into the pits, line's done, which means Neon starting a lap. Next across the line will be Edgar.
Ozza's in the middle of another lap right now, but Edgar has the focus. He's up by 3/10, so he might be able to break into the 35s. He does. Fourth, 135.676. And with all these drivers going by with faster laps, Waldo's getting pushed farther down the order because time's up. Over. Plow.
Edgar, 1,000th of a second behind Franz.
Here comes Jabus Don. He saved it all to the end, 35.8. Matrix is on a cooldown lap, so he's not going to cross the line here for anything. He's going to come into the pits. The focus is on Ozda. What can he do? He's up by a bit more than a quarter of a second.
Ozda currently getting to the 5s and find himself a bit. He can go into third. 35.67. Franz.
Yeah. So it's all up to Mr. Neon. He got down on time. To the line.
Yeah, he gained a couple of...
Yeah, he gets into the 35. So 9 of our 10 drivers. Honestly, I think Smoothie probably could have gotten into the 35s also, if not for the accident.
Fortunately for Smooth, he got involved in an accident. So we wait for Franz to get into his pit box. And that'll be Q3 done. Dusted. What a qualifying session.
Yeah, very interesting. I honestly thought Fine Waldo would be higher up the grid, but he gets pushed down to 7th at the end. That's not good for the driver who, for most of the season, has been your championship favorite. But outstanding job to Matrix.
And his championship contender, XRL Matrix, also his teammate, is in pole with a 35-0. Second place is Pelly, who has been strong in qualifying all season, but see how he gets on in the race. Asda, we've been saying about Asda all session, currently in P3. Good start to the race, and we could see him up there in first and second. Franz in 4th, Edgar 5th, Jebus John 6th, Waldo 7th, Low 8th, Neon 9th, and Smooth in 10th. Smooth could have been higher if he hadn't if things had gone a bit different for him.
Yeah, indeed. But again, his qualifying car, a victim of that little bit of rear end stepping out that you get in 3 and 4. So go ahead. Obviously, I just want to hear from your perspective. What is the proper way to navigate turns 3 and 4 on a really heavy car with tires that have been dead cold? Because that's what we're going to see at the start of this race. How do you properly navigate in that condition?
Well, I'm guessing that if you feel it sliding out, just lift off a little bit, and then you won't spin as much. If you lift off, then you'll be all right.
You make a fair point. That is assuming that when you lift off, the rear doesn't still continue to spin out on you and then steers into your side, like with 2 of our X3 championship contenders early.
Of course, unless that happens, and then you just slam on the brakes and... Anyway, I'm going to go and I will be back.
Standing by right now, just wait. Look at the grid. so we know no one in the top 10. But farther down the order, things are a little bit different. Rims, Fizzy, both of them did not even laps whatsoever, but they'll be starting on medium tires. 15th, 16th, Flavor and Zola, they will be also starting on mediums. And it looks like Snakes and Jalebin in 12th and 13th, they also are electing to start on the medium rubber. So just staying by for the race itself. Should be getting underway relatively shortly for the race. Just waiting to get underway here. That's it. Thought we would have been gone by now. Real quickly, we check race director one more time to see if anyone else is going to try and change tire strategy. Jalebin's apparently swapping decisions, thinking that starting on the softs might be a better option now.
So we're waiting now on the grid for the race to start.
Thought we would have gone by now.
Yeah, very shortly. Yeah, there's the message. So let's go. So we'll be going anytime now.
Alright. Per usual, if you see anything near the back, go ahead, cut me off, interrupt me, whatever. Just so we can get focused on that quickly.
No worries.
All
7
right.
seconds.
As we get onto the circuit, it's going to be one of your championship points leader On the pole, can he get a good start? As we see the lights. 4 lights, 5 lights. That's lights out. Away we go here at Abu Dhabi. Great start by Matrix, but behind them, France had an even better start. Already alongside Asa and takes third, going into turn 1.
Very clean through turn 1. Very
Bono
clean.
not having a good start on the other hand, though. He is stuck, lost several positions,
Oh,
going all the way
nearly
down to
contact.
9th. Oh, and there's contact, and Wano speared to the side of Mr. Neon. Torpedo's got power by both of them on the inside now, coming around the hairpin. And now it's a drag race between Wano and Neon going down the straight. Farther up, Edgar now putting pressure on Asa down the straightaway.
Nearly 3 wide at the back here. The 2 Red Bulls are side by side. Snake can cool them. Snake gets back cool.
Zola has had an impressive start to this race. He's gone straight from 16th up to 11th, and we're not even past the first lap yet. But he has to hold off 2 McLarens and another Mercedes. Jalebin, Rimsco trying to fight. There's contact between the 2 of them. Farther up, Asa loses the position as Davis Young. He has not had the start that he was dreaming of for sure.
But the back Fizzy hasn't had the start either that you would have hoped for.
Yeah, but the good news is it looks like most of the drivers on track have not had any serious wing damage or anything, so a clean first lap here around Yas Marina as the field opened up a little bit.
Matrix. So Matrix in the lead, 1.2 behind, 1.2 in front of Kelly. Low and
Neon. So they will be repairing damage to their cars by the looks of it, but it looks like they'll be the only ones to do so. So Waldo has somewhat recovered. He's back in 8th, trying to see if he can do anything to Torpedo right now, while Matrix has a 1.1 second gap over Pelli. Ferrari runs 2nd and 4th at the moment.
Mixo and Smooth, 2 teammates today. Not too much between them. Half second. Behind them, J-Led. Probably won't see many overtakes actually until DRS. Here comes.
Yeah, you're seeing the Alpine, that's Llama, trying to make something happen on Snake. And he will get by him. The soft tires just have way better grip when it comes to accelerating out of the corners. So in a dead straightaway, and assuming you guys have the same wing setup, the soft tires will be better to have on a straight than the mediums we saw right there. Rim right there behind Smoothie, and Smoothie's kind of fallen back a bit from Zola. So Zola, outstanding start. He has gone from 16th to 9th in just basically a lap and a half.
Yeah, and he's all over the back of Waldo as well. He's going for a move on Waldo, maybe. Right. Waldo goes wide.
Oh, Waldo!
And Zola does get past.
Waldo coming into the pits. Was there damage to that car that we couldn't see?
There may have been. Yellow flag. That is, who's that?
Dave Ewart. He's had a spin coming out of that second to last corner, but he has not hit anything. Fizzy also went ahead and hit, so there must be damage on his car as well. For Waldo, yeah, they're changing out the front wing altogether. Dave Ewart and Flavor also coming into the pits. So a bunch of drivers now pitting to repair damage, and this puts Waldo in a bad position going forward. He's going to be nearly half a lap down.
This train is still rolling for 8th place. Zola
yeah, everywhere from 8th on back to 14th. They're all right on top of each other. DRS kicking in is really making things nutty here. Smoothie, Zola fighting for position. Smoothie powers by Zola. Now Rimso has a run on Zola. They're both on the same kind of tire, so who's going to have it? They're both closing fast on Smoothie now for 8th.
Nowhere for Zola to go. But he defends it
Zola's
nicely.
not good in the corners. That's going to let Smoothie open up a gap potentially. Oh, Zola off circuit. Yes, the hair rim is all over his back. And into the braking zone, Zola holds it. But Zola does not look as happy with that Aston Martin now as he did in the first 2 laps.
Oh, and Rem going for a move there. Contact!
Oh, contact! And that bunches up the field behind. Here comes the Alpine of Llama. He tries to make a move now in a section you don't normally see him go side by side with. He's trying to muscle his way past 11. Almost all these drivers taking radically different lines going through 3 and 4. They all want to maximize the air that gets on their front nose. This is going to get interesting when they go down the straightaway because Zola has fallen more than 2.5 seconds off from Smoothie, so everyone's going to have a heck of a run on Zola coming down this straight.
Here we go then. DRS open. Not closing as quickly as I thought he would, but he will still get there. They're going to go side by side into the corner. He can't get past.
Oh wow!
Gotta be careful.
Llama! Whew. Almost totally missed the corner altogether, but he's actually gained on the 2 ahead of him.
Oh,
Rem going to the
Rem.
outside of Zola. Llama not close enough though to make anything of it.
Always next
And while
lap,
that happened, farther up, Davis John muscled his way by Edgar using some DRS overtakes. Now Ozzo wants to try and get by the Ferrari.
Zola with a 3 second.
Zola. Yeah, he's trying everything he can to keep up with Rem so he can still have DRS down the straights, but Rem's already opened up 1.1 second gap on Zola. So the medium tires are not, I don't know if Zola maybe just has a bad setup on the car or what. He had a great first 2 laps, but then the moment the tires seem to come to proper temperature, he's just fallen off completely. Oh, big twitch by Llama behind though.
A little bit
Farther
further
up.
ahead. Sorry.
No, Llama's out!
Oh no!
And that's right there, coming out of turn 4. The same incident we've seen multiple times today. The same one that took him out in qualifying.
Doesn't look like there's a safety car coming out. So we're going to still be racing here. Edgar can't get close to Jebus John much at all. Can't get close enough to overtake.
Ozda seems to get closer to that Ferrari than that Ferrari gets to the AlphaTauri. Ozda put the power down too aggressively and the car whipped out into the dirt. Now he's going to come under threat from Torpedo. At the rate the race is going right now, we still have no yellow flags somehow.
Surprisingly.
This is about the time in the race that we would start seeing the soft tire compounds start falling off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the strategy says around lap 8, so they can go up to 12, but by lap 12, lap 6, it's maybe a little bit too early.
Oh, the Torpedo's around! No, that's Davis John!
It's Jebus John.
Same area that Llama had an incident at, and that's a virtual safety car. Not a full course, but a virtual for Davis John.
It's a virtual safety car then. Just lost it on turn 3, 4 again.
I think the soft tires are starting to fall off, and that's why we saw what happened there happen. Because he was pushing it like it was earlier on, but now the car's a very small amount faster, and the tires have lost a small amount of grip. And when you're dealing with these cars in this game, it's a matter of micro adjustments that can be a difference between a great lap and an accident. No one really in a position to pit under this virtual safety car. At least no one in a position to pit and get an advantage out of it. But 2 DNFs in 2 laps. And I think for everyone on the soft tires, they need to be careful. And Ozda got kind of lucky there because Ozda had a little twitch of his own back there in Sector 3 just before that happened as well. So I think everyone in the top 7 position on those soft tires need to be careful because if they start pushing too hard, they could be in a bad position.
They could, yeah. You got to be careful not to push too hard, especially with worn tires.
Yeah, Torpedo right there behind Ozda right now, coming through. Crossing the line is Matrix. We are now 7 laps into the race. And Ozda is actually closing back in on Edgar. Franz has pitted out 3rd. So Franz is going to heed the warning that Chavis down and Llama's crashes give. He will pit and he wants off the soft tires.
Ready to go into some mediums potentially? Yeah, ready to go into some mediums and go as long as he possibly can on them. The one stop is possible, but you're going to need safety cars for that. We haven't had any so far.
Mr. Neon right now closing in on low, so this is the battle between all those guys who pitted, or were forced to pit over the first 2 laps, so just taking some damage. So they are way off strategy, and basically everyone from about 13th on back desperately need a full course yellow. And a spin. That's a very odd place to spin, though. Looks like it must have happened under braking. Going into again. 5. Ozda, Torpedo, neck and neck for 4th and 5th. Torpedo gets by Ozda.
But
Ozda's fighting back with DRS down the straight.
Side by side.
Torpedo has to back out, so Ozda takes the position for the moment. So yeah, everyone from about 13th on, about 12th on back, they desperately need a yellow flag in order to bunch up the field and give them any sort of chance to get back into the race. But we've not had any thus far.
No, we haven't.
I won't lie.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I won't lie though. If we somehow go through this entire race without yellow flags, I would be very much interested in how that plays out. That would really be a good strategy game, to say the least. All right, Edgar pitting out 3rd position, so he doesn't want to push those softs any farther himself now. Torpedo and Ozda still fighting for 3rd and 4th.
Round turn, see Torpedo.
Ozda's around! And into the outside wall, but the front suspension is still together. He will be able to continue.
See, just before then, we saw... Oh yeah, put the telemetry on. Put the telemetry on.
Why?
Wiki's asking in the chat to show them the telemetry.
I don't normally do that because normally it's just a lot of extra clutter, but okay.
There you go.
Well, there is one thing to consider, though, with the telemetry on now. Fuel may be an issue. Matrix, who is leading with a 4.6-second gap, they're saying he's low on fuel. Pelly in 2nd, they're not having any fuel concerns for him. 3rd is Torpedo, no fuel concerns there. 4th is Smoothie, 25. Fuel concerns in the McLaren camp for Smoothie, but not for Risco in 5th. 6th is Jalebin, no fuel worries. Zola in 7th has fuel concerns. Snake, no fuel concerns. Franz, nothing to worry about with fuel. Edgar, nothing to worry about with fuel. Ozza, nothing to worry about with fuel, but Ozza's gonna have to pit to repair the damage to that car now.
Yeah.
Lowe has nothing to worry about with fuel. Neon is still up in the air with fuel. He's on the tail end of the driver. Well, he's one of the drivers who wants a yellow flag to properly bunch the field up. Waldo does not have to worry about fuel right now. Matrix is pitted out of the lead. Collie Boy, fuel concerns in his part. Fizzy has fuel concerns. Dave Ibar has fuel concerns. And Flavor has fuel concerns. But at the front, Pelly leads as Matrix and Torpedo have both elected to pit. This is good news for Rimsko, though, because now with all these drivers pitting, he's going to go ahead and inherit 2nd position, will likely take the lead as well once Pelly inevitably decides to pit himself. So this is looking very good for the McLaren driver.
Only just came out ahead of Matrix.
Matrix will have a bit of an advantage in the long term. For right now, though, Matrix needs to get his tires warmed up. So it's not in a great position for him to try and overtake Rim. He should probably hold back, wait a lap or 2. He's gonna do it with DRS.
Gonna go for it. And he's already got the position before.
But Matrix will have tires that aren't fully up to temperature yet. Rim is going to have the advantage in the chicane here and DRS in the subsequent straightaway. Nah, it doesn't matter. He put the power down wrong. The rear end of the McLaren stepped out. Okay.
Matrix on fresh tires gets into second place. I mean, Rem's catching, you know, but it was not quite close enough. And Dave has retired.
Yeah, and that's an accident coming out of 2. That's the earliest we've seen an accident in those corners. Yeah. And there's your full course safety car. And this so for Matrix, perfect. This is perfect. Matrix basically got a free pit stop out of this entire thing and really hasn't lost anything.
Yeah. Also good for those behind who haven't pitted, that are on softs, like J-Leb. Well, soft runners who haven't pitted. I mean, that might be Pelly and J-Leb, to be honest. So Pelly pits.
Yeah, Pelly's going to pit, and Pelly has a bit of an advantage because he was so far ahead by virtue of having not pitted yet. He's going to significantly reduce the amount of positions he'll lose. I think he's still going to come out in about 2nd or 3rd spot. But just about everyone else is pitting. In response, I think Pelly's going to come out in 3rd behind France.
Or 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be 2nd ahead of France.
Oh, yeah, 2nd. Perfect timing for him.
Rim, he came into the pit lane, and he is elected to put on soft tires. Now, this is dropping him back to 8th, but he is on soft tires, fresh soft tires, while everyone ahead of him is on moderate to significantly worn mediums, so Rim is going to be in a great position to fly up the grid when we go green again. But almost everyone on track seemed to take this safety car as a chance to pit.
Yeah. And so they should. It's a great opportunity to pit in this safety car.
Fizzy making an interesting call. They have thrown on a set of hard tire compounds in the Alfa Romeo camp. So he could probably go to the end of this race on this set of rubber. I don't know if mediums would be able to last 18, 19 laps or not. If they do, then Matrix and Pelly may have just wrapped up the win for themselves.
I know,
but
yesterday in Dev, me and Kenzie took the mediums 20 laps. But that was with a few safety cars.
Also, this is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and say, this is going to be a very long safety car because Flavor is he's about 2/3 of a lap down right now. It's going to take forever for Flavor and Fizzy to properly catch the back of the grid here.
Yeah, it'll be probably end of lap 12 then, maybe.
This is going to be a very long safety car period. The big reason is, and I've said this before, under the safety car in Sector 3, the speed is about the same as what you run under normal race conditions. When you're trying to catch up to the safety car, the big thing is, wherever you have a significant positive delta in speed is the difference. Really on this track, that's only on the 2 DRS straights and then that kind of short front straightaway. Other than that, you're kind of running at almost the same pace that you run under safety car. That's why it takes so long for the field to get gathered up. Now, in Flavor's favor, he has already closed the gap down to about 35 seconds off of Fizzy, and Fizzy's only about 12 off of... But still, Flavor about 48 seconds off the back of the grid. It's gonna be a long time until he actually catches. And the worst part is, for the drivers, we look near the front. Matrix is now back, and he does not have to worry about conserving fuel. Pelly's fuel concerns are over. Franz, in fact, we don't have to see anyone dealing with fuel concerns until we get to Smoothie 25 back there in 9th. And that will probably alleviate itself as this safety car continues. Then as we go even farther back behind that, no one else is having fuel issues until you get to Fizzy, who has just now caught the back of the grid, and Flavor, who still has yet to catch the back of the grid. So
35 seconds to catch the back of the grid. Flavor.
Yeah.
So it could be...
And Flavor will make some of that up. Yeah, Flavor will make some of that time up here on the short front straightaway. But that's kind of it. Yeah, I don't think Flavor is going to be able to catch the back of the grid before this lap is over. I wish it was so, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's 33 seconds out, yeah. He'll do a great job closing up on the straights, but the gap's just too big, and with that in mind, we may not be going green until lap 13, sadly. Let's close it down to 28 seconds. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, So he's down to 20 seconds. But again, yeah, he's not going to catch the back of the grid before this lap is up.
No, we'll be
because the
doing
rest of
one
the
more lap,
field's
aren't we?
already... it's kind of a shame. I don't like having to see all this potential racing time wasted under safety car. He closes it down to about 15 seconds out, but still, yeah, it's just too far out. He ain't going to catch the back of the grid because Matrix and the pace car, they've already come. They're coming now down to the last 2 corners as it is.
I don't know,
So
it could be
this
a
is it.
really late call.
Nah, this is way too late.
Really
Oh,
call.
wow. Okay, so
Yeah,
how does
really
Matrix
late.
bunch up the field? Very unexpected. So how does Matrix bunch up the field coming to the green flag?
I think it could well be he's gone, yeah. And he's,
easy
Kelly's been
run.
caught up by it.
Franz
Defending from
right there.
Franz.
Edgar gets by Snake farther back. Snake, the old medium tires are not keeping up well. Torpedo's already putting pressure on him now. Oh, contact behind. Waldo, Rimsco have contact behind. Waldo looks like he got away with it without damage, but he's going... No, Waldo does have damage to the
Waldo.
front wing.
Slowing right down is Waldo, letting cars past.
And the
He's gone
yellow
to the
flag,
back.
which helped get him back into the points paying position, has hurt him as he gets hit in the side under the restart. He'll have to pit again. Matrix could be looking at maybe trying to
Remington.
bow on his championship hopes the next 2.
Rem and Snake side by side. Oh, a little bit of contact from AJ.
Ooh, Rem really
Yeah.
clabbers the curbs.
His
But
car
he's taking
nearly-
full... Woo, but he's taking full use of the soft tire compounds. He's already up to 6 and is trying to put pressure now, or at least trying to catch up so he can start putting pressure on Torpedo and Edgar in 4th and 5th. So right now, Rem, without a doubt, is going to be the fastest guy on track, except for maybe Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix has gone, and 1.5 in front of Pelly. He's complete. He's gone. Snake, Smooth, and J-Led pretty close to each other. And Zola not too far
Snake.
behind either.
Snake struggling very badly with those very worn medium tires. I think Snake is just trying to hit a tire number right now. He's having trouble hitting it by the looks of it.
And Smooth making the move.
Nice rhyme.
Thanks. And he gets it done.
So now Delebin right there behind the Red Bull. He's looking to try and take an alternate line through 3 and 4 so that way he can keep fresh air on the front wing. Going under braking, doesn't make the move there, but someone who does is Lowe. He tried to make a move on Zola for 10th. Now he makes the dive on the inside. Drag race for 10th position. Going down the first of the 2 back straightaways. Zola has the advantage.
And J-Leb on Snake, side by side again. Jeff gets it, J-Leb gets it done, sorry. And Lowe going for another dive on Zola, and maybe. But they come out of it safe and sound. Zola still keeps 10th, and he's got the run on Snake here for 9th. Zola and
Dives
Snake
to the
then
inside.
on the inside.
He's got it.
Yeah, and Snake gotta be careful of Lowe.
Lowe gets him as well.
And Asda, and Neon, and Cooley, maybe. Not quite
Yeah,
Cooley, but they're
Snake
side by
has gone-
side. And yeah,
Yeah,
Cooley's
for
got him
Snake,
as well.
those worn tires have completely given up on him. They still have pace, but not anything that he can actually fight on track with. He has fallen well out of the
Asda and
points making
Neon.
positions now.
Oh, tires touch.
Ooh, contact. And that lets
Cooley.
Collie Boy by Asda now.
Goodness me. DRS enabled.
Well, no one seems to be able to touch Matrix right now. He has the easy pace advantage. So I think unless something, and Waldo not even being in the points, I think we may walk out of this race with Matrix having a 20-plus point lead in the championship.
Waldo 30 seconds, well, 28 seconds behind Flavor. Oh, Fizzy and Snake side by side here. And the chicane before the hairpin. And Cooley and
Asda trying
Asda
to
as
muscle
well.
his way by both Collie and Mr. Neon. Asda has the DRS and he'll use that as a pick to try and close in on Neon down the straight now. easy DRS overtake by the looks of it. The Red Bull wants to
And
try and
Cooley
split
wants
3
to-
wide. They will stick it 3 wide. Oh, there's too much car, not enough room.
Oh, and Neon's gone deep, which means Cooley, maybe no. Cooley slows down to let
Backed
Neon
out of
through.
it.
He backed
Yeah,
out,
he may have thought that move there may
But he
not
doesn't
have
have
been good.
DRS. But he doesn't have DRS.
Rim has caught Torpedo for 5th now. The problem is Torpedo is still behind Franz. Franz is still behind Edgar. So Rim needs to maximize the traction of those soft tires. Otherwise, he's gonna be stuck in the back of this DRS train.
Has just got past Zola.
So that's for points paying position. So Ozza now back ahead of Zola. So neither Aston Martin in the points now, although that could change going forward. Still a lot of race to go, about 40% of it left to be exact.
Yeah, just over halfway, aren't we? Neon into the pits. So whether he got damage, Ram just got to be careful not to go into the back of Torpedo.
All right, now down the straight, Franz will have DRS, and he's using it to close in on the Ferrari of Edgar for 3rd, and also using it as a defense against Torpedo down the straight. Torpedo's really fast down the straight, but he's not close enough to make a move into the braking zone. Rim, with those soft tires, is able to close right in under braking. So everyone from 3rd to 6th close right on top of each other. Franz even closer to Edgar.
Oh, and Torpedo
But
may have a run on Franz here.
Yeah, he looks to the outside. They'll be neck and neck into the braking zone. Can't make it stick, though. And this is bad news for Ren because all this time he's spending in this DRS train is burning up the usefulness of that soft tires.
Oh,
He's
wow.
alongside Torpedo.
Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. He is going for a move
He
there.
is.
A little bit of contact. Doesn't get it though, does he?
No, but the good news for Rim is that this has dropped Torpedo out of DRS range from Franz. So Rim will be able to run down Torpedo, potentially without him being able to utilize DRS to close on the drivers ahead.
Yeah, but Torpedo's got back within that 1 second now, so... it's on the bubble, isn't it? On the bubble. If Torpedo doesn't have DRS, then Rem's got him. Or Rem could have him.
Torpedo with it, just barely within it. Yes, he will have it by the looks of it, just barely though.
Maybe, yeah. Let's see. No, he doesn't, does he?
No DRS apparently. But he does have draft off Franz, and it's kind of holding Rim off. So that's just enough to keep Rim behind by the looks of it. And now Torpedo will have DRS on this straight. Oh, he botches the corner just a bit. He will have DRS,
wow.
but he's botched that
Bumpy.
corner.
And now Rem
He's not using it.
has the run and gets 5th position and can now
Waldo!
hunt Franz down.
Crash! Waldo has had another crash coming out of 4 there. And with that, Waldo runs the risk of being potentially trapped a lap down as this race goes on.
Still a lot of time between him and Matrix. But there is a possibility that maybe if he has to pit, that could happen.
There is front wing damage, so yeah, he will
Oh wow,
have
yeah,
to
he'll
pit
have
to
to pit,
repair it.
won't he? Yeah, that might mean... Well, that'll be very close.
No,
won't it?
Matrix! Your
Oh,
race leader! Your
Matrix.
points leader! He has crashed out of the lead! Coming into the last corner! The car is still in one piece, but he will have to pit. So in a breath of wind, both of the Haas cars have had accidents on the track!
So Matrix pits. After losing time, and Rem's
Rem's crashed!
And Rem has crashed, and
And
that's a
that's a
safety
full
car.
course safety car. And for Waldo, perfect news. For Matrix, this is news, but not what he wanted to have happen irregardless, because he's still going to fall all the way back to about 15th. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, the entire race has turned upside down on itself. Colin Boyd gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. He was running 10th at the time. And Matrix is trapped behind the safety car right now. And they're both going to have to deal with the McLaren's not on pit lane exit line. Okay. But Matrix is trapped by the safety car. Will they let him go by the safety car? Yes! Matrix will be let by the safety car. Okay. So now the question is, does Waldo have enough of a gap over Pelly that he can safely make this stop and repair the front wing? I think he'll be able to. We'll be close.
Yeah.
But Waldo will be able to maintain his position on the left. But all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, both of our championship contenders are now out of the points-paying positions.
And now we have a Ferrari 1-2 as well. Pelly in first, Edgar in second. With France hot on their tails in third. And Torpedo with a great fourth place so far. But Pelly pits.
Does anyone pit?
Pelly pits.
Pelly's pitting, Edgar's pitting, Franz is pitting.
Oh.
Torpedo's pitting.
Ferrari double
Is
stack.
Smoothie gonna pit? Yeah, Smoothie's gonna pit.
Jalebin
will pit. Lowe will pit.
Low pits.
Ozda's gonna pit. I think everyone's pitting. Zola's pitting, I imagine.
Maybe.
But
Zola's
double
pitting.
stacking the Ferrari team is not helping them out very much. Edgar's gonna lose a bunch of time.
Flavor's staying out.
Yeah, Flavor is on medium tires that can last in the end of this race, so Flavor might find himself all of a sudden in the top 7 positions or so.
Matrix will be staying out. I don't know if he'll gain many positions though. Oh no, Matrix pits. Matrix pits as well then. Interesting.
Snake pitted the lap before, so I don't imagine he'll be pitting now.
No,
so
Snake
he will
stays
get
out.
ahead of Matrix at least. And Waldo already pitted, so he's not going to pit.
Matrix on softs. Going on softs to the end is Matrix. Good idea.
And it's a bold strategy, but he's not the only one doing it. A lot of drivers are doing it. Right now, I think, honestly, the guy who's in the catbird seat is Franz W31. He is on medium tires. We know the mediums will be good to the end. The softs will be faster initially, but when DRS starts kicking in, I think Franz may have the advantage because he won't have to worry about the mediums losing pace going to the end of the event.
I mean, softs will go to the end, and with everyone else behind, well, with a lot of people behind him on softs, he may struggle initially. He may struggle for about 6 of the 10 laps that are left.
Yeah, but he'll be the fastest on track in those last laps. I think that might be enough. But we could be looking at potential Ferrari 1-2. It looks like the double stack didn't work too badly because Edgar's only lost 1 position. He's fallen only behind Franz. And you do make a point. If Franz does not have a great restart, if Franz just isn't able to come to grips with the mediums, Edgar might be able to get by Franz, and we could still have a Ferrari 1-2 finish here.
We could, yeah. And I'm interested to see how Matrix rebounds from what happened a few laps ago.
Yeah, he's been out front, not having to worry about any traffic at all today. Now all of a sudden, he has to worry about traffic. And on the other hand, Waldo is now going to be just 2 spots behind him, and neither of them are close to the points right now. We could very honestly leave here. Who's 4th in the points? Isn't that Smoothie?
Yes. Well, Smoothie will be 4th. Is 4th in the points. Yeah, Dino was 3rd, but he's left to serve, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Smoothie could all of a sudden vault himself into championship contention if he gains a lot of positions, and neither of the Haas guys get into the points-paying positions.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 21 points between him and Waldo in 2nd, and only 23 points between him and Matrix in 1st.
Yeah.
So yeah, good points finish today, and he's within a race win of getting 1st. And that is surprising as well, because I mean, let's have a look.
Yeah,
at
this
results.
entire season. Yeah, no, this entire season has been a walk-off by Dino to a lesser extent, but primarily Waldo has kind of walked off, and Matrix just kind of hung on. And then, like, right after, at the very end of December, now coming into now, all of a sudden, Matrix has turned up the heat, and now this has happened, and now it's crazy. You don't ever expect this kind of thing to happen. Matrix was in a position where he was leading by over 4 seconds and was just slowly adding to the gap.
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about Smooth much, but I mean, listen to this. From the beginning of the season now, 6th, 5th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, then he missed 2 races, 5th, 8th, 8th, and then missed a race, 7th, 5th, 5th, Mr. Ace, 4th, 12th, and 1st. I mean,
Yeah, points paying finish in almost every single race he's partaken in. His biggest problem is that he's just not shown up to every single race. If he can overcome missing several races, though, that could work out well for him. All right, word's official. Safety car will be coming in this lap. I'm looking down through the field. Everyone has their ERS fully charged. So, yeah, it's going to be a 9-lap shootout, so we could still have another yellow flag, and that would really up in the field again,
yeah,
I
we
think.
could have another safety car.
Yeah, because if we have another safety car, I imagine we'll see a lot of people near the back of the grid throw on another set of softs to try and be faster than those ahead. But right now, it's Pelly. How will he bunch up the field coming to the green flag? Boy, he's bunched them up real aggressively already. Waldo has had another incident.
Oh, gosh.
Trying to keep up with the back of the grid.
Dear.
He'll still catch them. I don't know. All right, coming to the green flag. Pelly still has the entire field gathered up, and he's swerving very aggressively in front of the Alpine. Out of the final corner now. Power down. He has a half-second gap on Franz. No real movement in the top 3, but Flavor had a bad start, and that will leave him open to attack from Smoothie. And Smoothie already alongside Flavor, going into turn 2. Flavor goes off circuit, and will hemorrhage positions on those more medium tires.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, and he's spun in front of Waldo, and he's taken
And that might end up being a penalty post-race, but Waldo goes from bad to worse. On the other hand, though, Matrix had a relatively good restart. He's fighting for 11th with Snake going down the straight right now.
Matrix gets it. Snake has to be careful of Neon. So, right, Matrix then up into 11th.
Snake has a run going down the straight, though. The Red Bull looks to the outside.
Waldo with a 10-second time penalty. Corner cutting.
Farther up the grid, though. Franz holding within 2/3 of a second of the lead Ferrari.
Waldo with another 3 seconds.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Waldo retire from the race because of just how stupid this has been.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Low with 3 seconds.
The top 4 all still on top of each other. No DRS this lap, but we're anticipating that will come in next lap. Franz doing a good job on the medium tires to keep pace with Pelly.
Waldo going into the pits to change his front wing. And Cooley Boy as well, coming out of the pits.
Matrix fighting with Fizzy for 10th. So right now, Matrix is on the verge of at least getting back into the points lead and trying to extend his lead in the points by a small amount. Didn't work out for him very well down that straight.
Torpedo.
He's trying to find a way by Fizzy.
Torpedo fighting with Edgar, maybe. Oh, he wanted the inside, and he's got the inside. Braking side by side.
He's got him.
Oh, contact. And he goes wide.
Oh, he ran the Ferrari off the road. And the Ferrari comes back to take the spot. And gives it back to him.
Torpedo.
So Edgar thinks that all things...
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it just seems like Edgar thinks that with all that going on, Torpedo was in the right and he was in the wrong, so he gave that position to Torpedo. He also knows that Torpedo has a time penalty, so Edgar could still steal 3rd from him. But now Smoothie is there in 5th, ready to capitalize.
And in controversial circumstances, Torpedo up into 3rd. Asda and Low on the back of J-Leb. And with DRS enabled.
The real interesting fight, though, is going to be for the lead, because now Franz will have DRS down the straight, and he can use that against Pelly.
Oh, is Low going to go for it? Nah, he He backs off. He wants the DR. He wants to do it on the straight on the DRS.
Ozza doesn't have any such quarrel, though. He'll go ahead and muscle by low on the inside.
He's trying.
Jelebin holding up. Wow, Jelebin really held up low there. That did not work out well for Ozda. All right, down the straight. Franz is closing on Pelly, but not closing fast enough to pull alongside in the chicane. But he might be alongside in the next set of corners.
Oh, and both Ozda and Lowe get past Jelebin, and they're side by side, and Ozda gets out ahead. Maybe no contact between Lowe and Ozda.
And that lets Matrix sail by. Matrix is going to get by both of them, I think.
And Matrix could anyway get past both of them. A bit further back, Fizzy and Zola have caught up to the back of this train as well now. With Neon and Snake not too far behind. There's a real train here for 6th position, all the way down to Neon and Snake in 13th. Torpedo with the fastest lap.
Torpedo's just at the fastest lap in 3rd. So he's definitely hoofing it right now. Ozda there behind Lowe still. Jelebin really kind of throwing a wrench into Ozda's plans though, because Lowe is just close enough to Jelebin that Jelebin can use DRS as a defense. The big interesting thing though is at the front. Franz is now closer to Pelly this lap than he was the prior lap, and he's able to lay on the DRS and the ERS down the straight. He's within half a second. Pelly swings to the inside to break the draft. Franz follows suit.
Here we go then, Lowe.
Does not make the overtake down the straight though.
Lowe breezes past J-Lab.
Ozda's not able to. For the lead though. Franz has a great run on Pelly down the second DRS straight. He goes to the outside, laying on the ERS and DRS. He's by. Franz takes the lead.
And a yellow flag. Waldo retiring from the session. Turn 3. Horrible
It's gone
corner.
from bad to worse for Find Waldo.
It has. Unfortunately, not his day-to-day. Oh, contact between Lowe and J-Lab. Means that Matrix and Asda both get past.
Edgar now has a time, and that's a safety car, full course safety car for the incident that happened with Find Waldo. So now everything gets turned on its head. Does anyone in the back decide to jump in, throw on soft tires to try and charge up the grid late in the event?
5th, 6th. J-Lab stays out. Asda stays out. Matrix stays out. Lowe stays out. Fizzy stays out.
Snake
Neon
is going to come
Zola.
in.
Snake pits. Flavor, don't know yet because he's not there. He pits.
Yep, Flavor's coming in.
And then Cooley. Who's on
Cooley's going to
mediums.
stay out, apparently.
Staying out on mediums.
They may not
Interesting.
have another set of soft tires in the pits for him.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like in every race that we've had this weekend, there's been a safety car lap with about 5 laps to go. 4 or 5 laps to go.
And that's what I said. That's why I said during the pre-race, it's so important to keep your number of time penalties to 0 because you're almost guaranteed a late race safety car. And because of that, the field gets really bunched up, and a 3-second time penalty can lose you a bunch of positions.
And people say this game's not realistic, but a late safety car at Abu Dhabi is pretty realistic, to be honest. Considering,
Regrettably so.
unfortunately. Oh, Asda and Jay. What's happening there? What's happening here between Asda and J-Lab? Don't know. Maybe letting his teammate through. Potentially.
Maybe.
Interesting.
It'd be a weird choice. Of note, though, with one Haas driver out and both of the Mercedes still in, this could be a chance for the Mercedes drivers to claw back some points in the Manufacturers' Championship.
The Mercedes J-Lab letting Asda pass may not be a bad strategy, actually, because Asda's quicker than J-Lab, and J-Lab's only reserve, so, you know, teamwork. If J-Lab can defend Matrix, Lowe, Fizzy, Neon, and the like, then you know, Asda could maybe get away and attack Edgar and smooth get into the top 5.
Well, at the front, it's Franz in the Alpine. Pelly is second. The question is going to be, when do we go green? Because if green flag doesn't come soon enough, we're not going to have any DRS, and there really won't be any way for Pelly to get by Franz unless he's going to dive bomb a corner. So...
end of this lap then, maybe. As long as the majority of caught up, then it'll come in.
Oh, Franz has just now caught the safety car. And now we see Zola coming out of the coming onto the first back straightaway, so he's going to catch shortly here.
Cooley and Snake
Collie
will
and
catch
Snake,
up.
yeah, Collie and Snake will catch. I don't know about Flavor, though.
No.
I mean, we were in this position earlier, though, to be fair.
We were. And I think with the amount of time that's left in the race, and the game doesn't really mind calling it in if there's only one car that's not caught up. So I reckon we could get 1 lap of DRS on the final lap of the race if it comes in this lap.
If we go green, lap 26, we'll get DRS on lap 28. So
I mean, if it comes in this lap, then it's going to be a late call because the 2 Red Bulls still haven't caught up properly yet.
Collie finally catches up under braking here, and now Snake catches right afterwards. But Flavor's still 15 seconds out, so
Going to be a late call. If it's coming in, it's a late call.
I don't think it's going to come in. I think they would have made the call already. I think we're only going to get 2 laps, and we're going to have no DRS. So I think with that in mind, I think Franz has walked into this victory pretty perfectly, if I may say.
Yeah, I mean, he is still on medium tyres, though. Everyone else on soft, so I don't know, it could be interesting.
Yeah, nope. Pace car's staying out,
Yeah.
so it will be a 2-lap run to the end.
So it'll be coming in at the end of lap 26 then.
I'm going to try and find Waldo in here one more time, although I would not be surprised if he's totally offline, but...
I mean, at the minute, fastest lap is... Low goes into the pits.
Low? Yeah, very strange decision to pit
change.
now.
Oh,
so he must have hit something. Yeah, he must have hit something at some point. And they don't have any fresh sauce, so they have to put a set of used softs on that car.
Yeah.
Although he'll still be faster than a lot of the guys ahead. So of note, Snake starting 13th, Flavor 14th, and Low 15th. They're all going to be on tires that will be faster than the rest of the grid. So those 3 will be trying to charge up the grid and get back into the points. Don't know if that's going to work, but they're going to be trying to do it for sure. Neon is 10th with Zola 11, so one of the Aston Martins are in the points. Both Mercedes in the points-paying positions. Both Ferraris in a very good points-paying position. Yeah. So, yeah, this could, at least for the Manufacturers' Championship, this could be interesting, especially with Matrix now being the only Haas in the field. But that's the other thing. Matrix, even with that self-inflicted crash, he has recovered from 14th up to about 8th. If he times it right, he could get back into the top 5, honestly.
Yeah, he could.
And honestly, if he does that, even though Smoothie has a good run going, I think that would pretty much negate Smoothie's presence and kind of keep him, like, realistically out of the championship fight.
Oh, safety car's in this lap, yeah. So we're going racing again. 2 laps. Torpedo with
NASCAR style, green, white, checkered.
Yeah. Torpedo with a 38.0 fastest lap of the race. Outside the top 10 is Snake with a Low with a 39.023. Just thought interesting to have a look at that. But yeah, safety car in this lap. I'll have a gander at the back. You have a gander at the front.
All right. The question now becomes, how much does Franz bunch up the field coming to the green flag? You see the pace car pulling out. Franz really has the field bunched up right now behind him. And powers down out of the second to last quarter, opens up an 8/10 gap on Pelly almost right away. So a great job. Franz now has more than a second lead over the Ferrari in second.
Quite a clean restart. The 2 Red Bulls fighting a little bit. But Matrix then 4/10 off Jayla.
Snake trying to utilize the new fresh tires to close in on the cars ahead. He's up to 12th already. Zola is next in line for him to chase. Farther up, Ozda is there in 6th. Oh, Ozda contact with Edgar. A bit of a slide. He saved the car, but he's going to lose several positions in the process. Matrix now up to 7th.
Matrix may have been looking at a little dive on Pelly.
Pelly's just gone by Torpedo.
That's for second
So
place.
Franz has pulled away almost 2 full seconds. So the battle is now for second. And realistically, it's looking good for Pelly because Torpedo still has a time penalty he'll have to deal with.
Oh, and
Smoothie is hanging out there in 4th.
Matrix gets past Jaleb. Jaleb had made a little mistake and Matrix took full advantage up into 6th. Snake gets by Zola.
Edgar hanging out there behind Smooth, wants to get by him. Torpedo still fighting with Pelly for 2nd as well.
All it takes is
Snake
one
has
mistake.
recovered up to Snake is up to 11th, now behind Mr. Neon, who is in 10th. Neon is on variable medium tires, so Snake will have the tire advantage, and Neon hard into the inside wall.
Still alive, but down in 15th.
Torpedo
on the
back
final
by
lap.
Pelly. Torpedo still fighting neck and neck, letting Franz walk off with this win. Smoothly hanging on to this fight for 2nd. He wants to capitalize, but can't find any room by.
Oh, and that's Asda with a broken wing.
Last
Still in the
lap
race.
incident. Matrix made contact with Edgar there, but Matrix has gotten up to 6th now.
And now the train.
No
Trying to
DRS,
break
so
the
it's
toe.
all going to come down to driver ability. 11 trying to make a fight on Snake here for 8th. But it looks like Snake has that advantage. Meanwhile, for the top spots, Pelly has 2nd over Torpedo. Torpedo right there behind. He has a little bit more ERS, and he has draft. Matrix has a run on Edgar for 5th.
Torpedo
Meanwhile,
making a move on the inside. Side by side, Pelly just stays ahead. Matrix here is still in 6th.
at the front, Franz, 4.7-second lead over the rest of the field. So the choice to go on mediums was the right call in the end. And coming out of the final corner, Franz W31 will take home the victory here. Behind, Pelly will come across in second. Torpedo will be a third to cross the line, but Smoothie is the one who actually gets third. Matrix recovers from the self-inflicted accident for fourth. Snake gets fifth. Edgar sixth. Busy seventh. Torpedo eighth. Gleb ninth. Flavor, another points-paying finish this weekend, coming home 10th. Low, 11th. Zola, 12th. Collie Boy, 13th. Ozda, 14th. Mr. Neon is going to come home 15th. Something happened to him that caused him... Oh, yeah, he had that last lap crash.
Yeah, he
that
had a
ripped out that
crash
entire
on the
front
second
wing.
to last. Yeah, he had a crash second to last lap. Matrix recovering into fourth place. And Fizzy, driver of the day, starting right at the back of the grid.
Trying to get our race winner into the party to hear what he has to say about a fantastic strategy call near the very end of that event.
Shalom, Matrix.
All right, well, while we wait for France to come into the party, we do have Matrix here. Matrix, go ahead, make sure your audio... Oh, wait, no, Matrix, hold on for a bit. Our race winner, Franz W31, comes home with the victory here. Go ahead, include your audio. Fantastic strategy call to walk home with the victory. What do you have to say about that race? All right, outstanding job today. You came from fourth on the grid, hung around near the front all day, wrapped it up with a great strategy call. I just want to say that is a nearly picture-perfect race, in my opinion. All right, now I want to talk to Matrix, who comes home fourth. Matrix, you had the pole, you were dominant all day, self-inflicted accident drops you out of the points, and yet you still come back to come home fourth. Walk us through the day from your perspective.
The quali lap was an absolute banger, if I say so myself. Great start off, great start, you know, getting a lot of time, even in the first two laps. The first two laps, I think it was like 2 seconds ahead. And then it was fine. I could feel it going, and then I could feel it going in the corners before, and I thought, oh no, one more lap, we'll do one more lap. I think I was actually meant to pit that lap, and it just went away from me. I thought, like, as soon as my tyre hit that wall, I thought this is gonna just completely come off, but it didn't. Thankfully, you know, unfortunately, Torpedo had quite a lot of time penalties, sorry. I got back up to 4th. I was thinking I was only going to get 5th at a push, but I'm happy with 4th. It extends it on Waldo a wee bit, but it should have been a lot more. I'm gutted, to be honest.
All right, well, you still made this work out, though. You came home 4th, and with Waldo's DNF, you're going to open up a massive lead in the points. Do you think you can wrap up the championship before season's over?
Well, there's still, 5 races left? Depends what Russia's conditions are, depends what China's conditions. I think it's going to be a wet China, and I hate China. Hate China's track, it's rotten. But there's still a lot of points to go. I'm only going to be, can't even count,
right.
You know that. Like, over 10 points anyway, which was good.
Okay, fair enough. But still, irregardless, good run today. We'll look forward to seeing more from you from the future. All right, we also want to go ahead and invite Smooth into the party. Smooth, go ahead, include your audio. You come home 3rd. It looked like you could have vaulted yourself into championship contention if not for Matrix recovery. What do you have to say about your race?
It was pretty difficult. Something felt weird with my setup, but probably able to slowly move up and take away some points, but kind of sucks that Matrix ended up 4th still. I was hoping he'd end up like further back, but oh well. He had the pace though, and he had a good drive, so he still deserved it.
All right, well, with 2 DNFs in a row now from Find Waldo, and then issues now striking Matrix, do you think it is possible, though, that you can close into the championship fight, or do you think it's just a fight for 3rd now for you?
I mean, I think mathematically, yeah, it's still possible, but I doubt it. Matrix has got some serious pace, so I need him to spin a few times for me.
All right, well, I do want to say thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. I also want to talk to XRL Pelly real quickly. Pelly, in the Ferrari, you started front row, you still finished 2nd. It looked like you had the win for a bit, but a bad strategy call steals it from you. Walk us through the race from your perspective. Pelly, are you there? Okay, I can't seem to get Pelly's audio for that reason. Okay, then. Rough. Now, that's a shame. All right, well, I guess with that in mind then, unless Pelly's able to somehow cut his audio in real quickly here, it looks like that's pretty much it from us today here from Yas Marina. I'm going to be honest, Fiend, thank God we are done with this version of this track. I do not like the way this layout is.
Yes, same. This track is disgusting. Can't wait for the next game to be racing around the new one.
Yeah, there were a lot of battles that were shaping up to form, and then you get into these awkward chicanes that just absolutely destroy the flow of the circuit. It's disgusting, honestly.
Yeah, what was Tilka thinking when he designed this?
Now, Tilka's kind of a hack. He's had 2 good circuits early on in his career, and everything else is just a worse and worse recycling of it. So
It's all Sector 3 in it. Everyone loses.
Here's the thing. I like Sector 3. I like Sector 3. My problem is just all the stupid chicanes. The chicane
Yeah.
right there at the end of the second straight and the chicane right at the start of the first straight. I really don't care for those because that breaks the
Yeah.
flow. I like how technical Sector 3 is. It's technical but slow enough that, yeah, dirty air is a problem, but it's not ungodly an issue. It's just, more than anything else, it's just a lot of stupid chicanes.
Yeah,
And I
the
like
problem-
how... Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is the dirty air. Like, I mean, we won't get that in 2022, hopefully, but the amount of dirty air that like, say, if you're following a car, you know, there's so much dirty air that you just lose time. Like, it's just, anyway, I'm glad it's over.
Yep, indeed. Anyways, that's it for us today for X2. Next week, 5 p.m. UK time. On Saturday will be the dev race. 8 p.m. UK time will be the realistic race, which also sees XRL Matrix leading the points there. Then, at 5 p.m. UK time Sunday, on this channel will be X1. On the other channel will be the X3 race. And then at 8 p.m. UK time on Sunday will be the X2 race. I've been your host, Insane Leader 13. I wish to say thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.